cosmetology schools don't know anything about natural hair. The first thing I'm going to want to do is make you love your hair. Hair shape, your circle size, your density, porosity. Once you know those things, if you're using 5 products, they ain't working. Something ain't working. My hair will never grow as long as yours. Just like I will never grow as tall as you. Afro, it's kinky. I would ask people, what is 4C? What is that? You saying you have something, what is it? And no one could tell me. This is fact, this is science. This ain't no made up stuff.
Hey, check the video description. I put the discount code for the Circle Hair System book, and of course, discounts for your girl, Curly Hair Crisis. All right, let's go.
Hello, subbies. I am so excited to be with you here today. I am here with a pioneer, one of the first, if not the only, natural hair advocate that's been doing it for over 40 years. If you haven't known and you haven't seen her talks, if you didn't watch the last video that Ms. Pamela Ferrell put out, and with all of the social media combined has had over 1 million views, you all were ready. You wanted to learn more about this circle hair system. So I'm excited that we're gonna be here to talk to her about this today. You also need to go check her out because, you know, the reason why the Army and the Navy, that they had all of their policies and regulations for hair reviewed, standing right here, a woman that has made history for us and continues to do that in this arena. Also the books. I still have emails coming in since the last time we were together, still asking for books. Please go to the African American History Museum and see her exhibit. Without further ado, we are going to be talking to Ms. Pamela Ferrell, and we are finally ready to learn more about the circle hair system. Welcome, and welcome.
Thank you. So nice to be with you. Because the last time we did it, we were, I think it was the end of the pandemic.
Oh,
and
yeah.
we did it online.
We did. We had the Zoom going. So I'm excited to be here now in your space. You all, you just don't understand. It's even you come in, it's so calming. It's so nice and relaxing. You just have a feel that you're going to be taken care of as soon as you enter.
And that's important.
Oh, I love it. All that to say, I just want to dive in. Before we get started, you're going to have to remind us all how you came about developing this actual circle hair typing system, because it's new to quite a few.
And new to me. I mean, I've been looking at hair for 40 years. And I have conversations with God, and the conversation was, I have done my work. I'm tired. I'm really not, I'm not real excited about doing hair anymore. And, you know, that was my conversation. And I mean, I think people don't expect hairstylists to retire. You know, they'd be happy to have us behind the chair at 80 years old.
I know that's right.
And so anyway, that was kind of my conversation. And then one day I was blow drying a client's hair as usual, and I saw these perfect circles on the floor. I mean, it was just that day. And I got a piece of tape, and I taped a few of them. They were just beautiful. And so that was the beginning. And when I taped up some of the pieces to have them so I can look at these beautiful circles. And I said, we have circle hair. Why don't we call it that? Because we're trying to find all these words. Our hair is Afro, it's kinky, it's curly, it's coily, it's spiral. And, and those are descriptions.
Yes.
But our hair is circle. The shape of the hair. This is something you can see with the naked eye. And no one hates on a circle. I haven't met anyone that hates a circle.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And circles are all around us in nature. I mean, if you think about it, the moon, the human cells, your fingerprint, has, so it's a part of nature.
Okay.
And so is our hair.
Now that we are excited about, we want to know more about the circle hair typing system, because there is a typing system that we are completely, fully invested in now.
Well, not everyone.
Well, not everyone.
Because, I when I discovered this, I would ask people, what is 4C? And no one could tell you. And so this, to me, is an opportunity for us to speak not only a language that's factual. This is fact. This is science. This ain't no made up stuff. And words that actually describe what our hair is. Well, you did ask the question, and the question was, what do you find that's similar to the other hair typing systems?
Oh, yes.
And what I find that is similar is they're both trying to solve a problem. And the problem is helping people to really know their hair. Now, of course, it becomes a problem when the information is not accurate, but the similarity is that, we're just trying to solve a problem.
Oh, wow.
So, every year I speak to a group of kindergartners. Quite frankly, I think everyone should have kindergartners on their board because they are some of the smartest people.
That's pretty wrong.
Not the kindergartners. I'm telling you, the kindergartners. The questions they ask, oh my gosh. And the first time I spoke with a group of kindergartners, I called it Circle and Straight.
Okay.
And the little girl said to me, straight is not a shape. She said, line. Straight line.
Yeah,
and I said, you are absolutely right.
What?
So it's straight line hair. Okay. So yeah, I mean, just and also for me, we can start young because a lot of what we know, our cultural values and all of that, we learned early. We were shaped by the environment we were in. And, and I remember coming up as a kid, I always had, my hair grew long. I had these big twists. My mother didn't know how to braid, so she put 3 twists in. And my auntie, who was 6 months older than me, she had short growing hair. And my grandmother would braid her hair and put it in little connector braids. But we were always, but her hair, when someone would try to be mean to her,
yes,
your naughty hair, your short baby hair, I didn't get that. I didn't get that. People didn't say those things to me about my hair. But my auntie, they did. And I think about that today. I mean, even my grandfather, and I love my grandfather. He's the best grandfather anyone could have. But when he would get mad at her, like she would do something, we're little kids. And, he would tell her to come and she would. And he would just be, he would say, come on over here with your naughty-headed, nappy-headed. So he couldn't get the words out, and we're just laughing. And I think about that today. I think about wow, how did she feel? So now, let's talk about circle hair, baby. So what I realized was circle hair has a size, that there were different size circles. And I happened to have a little boy come in from South Africa. He wanted to get locks. And he was probably around 8, I think. And his hair, as we combed it out, little circles. It's the smallest circle that I've collected so far. The little boy, his family is of the Sand people, coasting in the sand, also Nelson Mandela. And based on geneticists, they have the oldest DNA still found in modern humans. And so what that says to me is that is the oldest hair right now, unless someone shows otherwise. And so that would be the first hair. And everything morphs from that. Everything morphs from that small circle. So, you know, I was going to measure them, and of course it would have been fractions and things, and don't nobody be wanting to mess with fractions, okay? Not even me. And so I used a measuring system that's already in place, the point unit system, which is used for fonts, typography. So you know fonts, right?
Yeah.
What's the default font?
Is it 12?
It's 12. It's 12. 12 points, right?
Times Roman. Mm-hmm.
So this is a system that's already in place.
Okay.
So if I say to you, for example,
Mhm.
my hair is between, I have 28 point and 48 point. Okay? You know what that is. If I was to, put a circle, an O,
Mm-hmm.
that is 8 point font,
Yes.
and one that's 28 point font. You're going to see the 28 one easy,
Absolutely.
okay? Unless you just have really good vision,
Yes.
And so think about that in the context of hair. So if someone called me and said, my hair is 28 point, I know what that is. All right, so we got the size, right?
Yeah.
So you find your shape,
Mm-hmm.
then you find your size. There's other variables, okay? Density.
Yes.
Density is you have a lot of hair in the middle
Mm-hmm.
or little hair, okay? My hair is an illusion. People think I have thick hair, but my hair is like a peacock or a chicken. If you wet them, it's nothing. And when it dries,
Yes.
and it looks big, okay? So I have probably what we would call maybe medium density. I have less density today at my age than I had when I was younger, when my hair was black. So we have to determine what our density is. And there's a couple of ways that you can do that. You can stand in front of a window. Usually if you can see, let's say you shampoo your hair, it's in an afro form. If you can see through it, then it has less density. Now the way they do it in cosmetology school is they talk about the square inch, the amount of hair per square inch. Right? The problem is you're going to have different density in different areas.
Oh, Lord.
So I created a chart. All of this will be in my book. I'm so excited.
Oh, my goodness.
So I created it's a chart, and it has 3 zones for density. So when you're thinking about your density, you've got the first zone, which is in the front area, the middle zone, and the back zone. Because a lot of times the hair is not as dense in the front as it is in the back. That's more common.
Okay.
And so you're going to treat them differently. I treat the back of my hair different than the front of my hair. The front of my hair is not as dense. The front of my hair the circle size is bigger. It's straight. So when you know that, you won't be doing your hair saying, well, I did my hair, but how come the back looks better?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. So you also want to know the porosity. Porosity just means how porous your hair is, right? And so the way that you can tell how porous your hair is, there's a couple of ways, but you can do the glass test where you can take, when you comb, after you shampoo and you comb some out, put it in a glass of water. If it sinks, it's more porous. If it floats, it's less porous.
Now, I have a question about that. Genetically, over the years, I just assume majority of us with more tighter curls or smaller circle hair just automatically is going to be low porosity.
No. There are fewer people with less porosity.
Really?
And when I say less porosity, when you shampoo the hair, it just doesn't saturate. It's like the water just kind of rolls off, and you got to really kind of wet it, for it to absorb. And so, and hair also becomes very porous when you do things like if you color it or if you relax it. Over processed hair, relaxed hair will literally tear it. You could tear it. It easily tears. Hair does not easily tear. You can stretch that hair. It's really strong. but when it's over processed. And so that hair is very porous. And what happens is when it gets wet, it just tangles and nets up together.
Trust me, I know.
Yes. So one of the reasons porosity matters. So if you're doing styles where you're using gel to kind of really enhance your curl, circles.
Yes.
If your hair is low porosity, wet gels don't work very well. So you would use an oil-based gel. So that matters because now, even as a hairstylist, you're thinking, I did this hand roll hairstyle or gel curl style on this client, and I use this gel. So everybody comes in my chair, I'm going to use this gel. And then lo and behold, one day you're going to get someone and it ain't working. It ain't working. So and that's why, because it is not.
That's good to know.
All right. So shape, circle size, porosity, density. One of the others, and I talk about all of this in the book.
Oh, yes.
One of the others is your circle consistency. All right. So there's what I call focal. We know what focal is. It's in focus, right?
Right.
And then we have diffuse, which is it's not in focus, right? And that's what hair looks like. So some people's hair, you can wet it, put product on it, and those curls and whatever, they just pop.
Yes,
They just pop.
The definition.
Easy peasy.
Yes.
Yummy. Okay. Then there's other folk, like me, where, I'd have to put the whole jar of product in order for that to happen.
Is that free?
And I don't recommend that.
Oh, right.
So a hair that's inconsistent doesn't wash and wear with definition as easy.
Well,
so,
I hope in your book that you outline
all of this
different with our hair.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. But if you learn your circle size, your hair shape, your circle size, your density, porosity, once you know those things, then you'll know when your hair changes. And those things change. Oh, and I didn't tell you this one. The strand. Okay.
We'll know the strand.
And the strand is easy. You take a strand of hair and roll it in between your fingers. If you can feel it, you have a thick strand. If you can barely feel it, you have a fine strand. Strands matter. So someone can have a lot of hair. They can have, high density hair, but fine strands. And what that means is the hair will easily tangle because those strands are fine, almost think of like little fine silk threads, they can kind of tangle.
So does that mean it's going to be different types? Say if my circle size is 28 and my mom's is 28, but I have fine, dense hair, and she has 28, but she has coarse, not so dense. Does that mean we can use the same products, or we still need to be thinking about?
So you can use, depending, products and create equal. But so when I talk about products, I'm just going to talk about my products.
Okay.
I know these products, I use them, I formulate them.
Yes.
Right? So you would need, let's say, for example, oil for Glide. It's just going to help it, the hair comb through easier. And basically what it's doing is it's just putting a little bit of color, a little bit of weight, not much, on that hair so that it's not hooking together.
Yes.
Okay. And then you have length. So now someone who has a thicker strand, they may not have to use it. They can just use a moisturizer that has oil in it.
Okay.
So for example, like I have a oil-based conditioner, it has no water in it. And then I have a conditioner that is formulated with water. So that's going to moisturize more.
Now, see, I feel like that's what's missing. We still are having a hard time pinpointing what products are going to work with our hair. And now listening to you, it's partially because we don't know our hair the way we should know it.
You don't know your hair. And you don't know the product. When you go to the store and there's 30 products on the shelf.
So many to choose from.
It is eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I mean, honestly. And you can't even really go by ingredients because there's a lot of ingredients that have to go into products that have a long shelf life. And so now you're looking at all these ingredients and you can't really judge.
Oh no.
You know. And so that's why people have bathrooms full of products. Like some women who come in for a consultation, they come in with a bag full of stuff. I use this, I use that, I use this, this. If you're using 5 products, they ain't working. Something ain't working. Right?
Yes.
And so, I mean, that is a challenge. I will talk about products in terms of there's different kinds of shampoos.
Yes.
There's moisturizing shampoos, there's clarifying shampoos, there's dandruff shampoos, which I don't recommend at all.
Oh.
Dandruff shampoos will ruin your hair. Hair doesn't have dandruff, scalp does.
Oh.
So, and if someone's really bent on using a dandruff shampoo, I would say just use it on the scalp and then use a regular shampoo, your moisturizer, whatever it is you need on the hair. So who needs a clarifying shampoo? Most African Americans don't need a clarifying shampoo unless you have very large circle hair with oils and, you would need a clarifying shampoo if you use a lot of products on your hair. Yeah. You see people styling the hair, and when they're styling it, the product is just oozing and oozing out of the hair. Yeah, you're going to need something to get all of that off of the hair. Wow. Locks, in some cases, need a clarifying shampoo for 2 reasons. I mean, if you're just starting your locks, you want that clarifying shampoo so that it will help with the matting process. Whereas if you use a moisturizing shampoo, it's going to make the hair soft and it's going to take longer to mat. So that would be a good reason to use a clarifying shampoo.
Well, in this book, do you at least kind of give us some guidance on the products that would work?
Absolutely. In other words, I talk about the products so that people understand.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying? Yeah. So, I'll talk about it in the context of this different kinds of products, what they are, what they're intended for.
Well, I'm hoping you're going to make this easy and simple for us to do because,
my thing is about simplicity.
Okay, good.
And listen, facts are simple.
That is true.
Okay. Let's talk about hair length. All right. The fact is, genetically, you are tall. The fact is, genetically, I am small. Okay. I come from a family of small people. I'm taller than some of my aunts. I'm 4'11". Okay, that's a fact.
Vertically challenged.
Yeah, my husband's 6'2". My son is 6'3". Okay, he got that gene. Oh, my daughter, who's 20, she's a little shorter than me. She's a tiny little thing. Okay, so now let's talk about hair. There is tall hair and there's short hair.
That's an ongoing debate. That our hair is growing, and your hair can grow waist length. They're on journeys to get waist length hair.
Show me. Right. For me, I believe in science. Show me the proof. Show me someone who comes from a family genetically of short growing hair. And what that is you just have a shorter growth cycle.
Right.
So your growth cycle may be 7 years. My growth cycle may be 3 or 4 years. And then you have someone whose growth cycle is just 2 years. So what that means, because women come in and they say, well, my hair's not growing.
Yes.
And the first thing I say is, do you have bald spots? No. Well, then your hair is growing. Because I see women who have hair loss, who are bald. That is hair that's not growing. Okay. Yeah. So now there are cases where we've had people come in, and once we started taking care of their hair grew to its natural genetic growth length.
Okay.
All right.
Yes.
But my hair will never grow as long as yours. Just like I will never grow as tall as you. Yeah. Ain't gonna happen. I can be sitting around all day saying, I'm gonna do this and do that, and I can go get some high heels. But you're right, okay? Genes.
I agree with
that determines your hair length.
Your genetics.
And, all hair is beautiful. It doesn't matter what long. I mean, because that would be like saying short is not good. I'm here to tell you that's not true.
Woo!
So, yeah.
Well, I hope you got some tutorials for us.
Yes.
Because
this is called, right now I call it a talking book because it has videos and things in it. And it's a digital, it'll be a digital book.
Mm-hmm.
And this would be my first, what made me decide to do that was, I get a lot of calls from women around the world.
Yes.
And it's so expensive to ship
All these books.
to different places,
Mm-hmm.
So if we make it digital, then everyone has access.
Yeah, just a click and then a download.
Yeah.
That would be amazing.
The problem is people don't have information.
No.
There hasn't been a lot of information on our natural hair because, for years we were straightening it. We weren't working with the natural hair. Cosmetology schools don't know anything about natural hair.
Do they teach now?
Let me say that again.
Natural hair.
Cosmetology schools don't know anything about natural hair. And when I use the term natural hair, which we coined back in 1979, we're talking about black hair. That's what I mean. See, we have these words, right?
Yes.
If I say circle, let me say this also with circle. It's not just black people that have circle hair. Majority of people in the world have circle hair. So now we're able to unite people around here. We remove the person, we remove face, race, all of that. And we just talk about hair. This is about hair. There are more people that have circle hair because circle hair is the first hair and everything morphs from that.
That's all right.
So, but the circle hair system is here to help everybody. I don't discriminate against anyone because this ain't about skin color, baby. This is about hair.
I am so excited. All the information is in one place.
This information helps you to be flexible. It helps you to make decisions about your hair that are intentional. And, and you're not guessing so much.
Yes.
But also, too, with the flexibility, that, if your plan was to get up in the morning and do a twist out, and then you see it is pouring down raining outside, then you're not going to twist out. Let's say you get ready to go somewhere, you're going to do an interview, and the plan was to do the twist out. Then you leave it in those twists, put a hat on, you get where you're going.
All right.
And then you take the twist out. You see what I'm saying?
There. Yes.
So, but
in that car.
So as simple as it sounds, people just need to know things that they can do themselves.
Wow. What do you say to those who don't want to put that much work in their hair?
Find a great stylist, or get a stylist low maintenance. So someone who doesn't really, and quite frankly, all this information I give out, there are some people who are just not good at it. But at least if you know your hair, you can communicate to someone about it. If someone was calling me and they can at least describe and say, like if someone called me and said, my hair is nappy. Yes. The first thing I'm going to want to do is make you love your hair. We ain't even going to get to what you need to do. Because, just saying it's nappy, that's not telling me anything.
That's right.
So at least we can create a way that they can communicate their hair, even though they can't do it.
I love this. I love that you're giving us language to use around our hair. You're giving us the education so that we can figure out how to care for it, how to actually categorize it, know the right products that will work for our hair, know that our hair is going to change as we age. Those of you who told me your hair was falling out after you had the baby, I'm sure you talk about talking about our treated hair, because I know a lot of people that left their hair in the natural state, but they color it, dyes, reds and blondes, so that probably changes.
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah, I'm with that. So when can we expect this?
All right.
Where do we find this information? Because now is the time. We are so ready.
So I have how it works.
Okay.
And then the book, God willing, will be finished in the next maybe 4 to 5 weeks.
All right.
It's really, first it's going to be digital,
Okay.
and then I will do the hard copy.
Yes.
The next one, I'm telling you about the next one as well. This one is going to be a hard copy. This one is more about science and anthropology. The origin of hair.
So I love that you're going to write that because we don't have a really good collection of science.
That's right. That's right.
For
And we have to do our own science because I've been seeing things that is science, and then it'll say, but we don't know much about that.
yes, always